Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, a couple of tight ends in Philadelphia. Goddard, the guy who is on the way up, recognizing that Ertz is about to get paid, said Dallas Goedert yesterday, Kittle and Kelce signing those contracts really helped out the tight end market, so that's always amazing. Thanks to those guys, but Zach deserves a contract here. He's been here, been a top 3 tight end in the league. Personally, I believe he's the best in the league for the last bunch of years, so he definitely deserves whatever he's about to get. That's Dallas Goedert, a guy who's going to be on deck for a contract of his own at some point,
seriously.
either with the Eagles or somewhere else, Chris. And that's the reality. The more that they pay Ertz, the harder it will be to pay Goddard.
Yeah.
So if they give Ertz a gigantic contract, if you look at how the cap dollars work, that could be the ticket that results in Goddard being out of town. So he needs to be careful what he wishes for if he wants to stay with the Eagles.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's a good problem to have, certainly. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, if they box themselves into, whoa, we've paid too much money for Zach Ertz, you know, you miss the opportunity to sign up another guy who's got a long shelf life still to go in the NFL and could be your future, you know, Zach Ertz, as his career starts to unwind here. You know, I mean, Zach Ertz he's plateaued. I think he's starting to, you know, at the plateau. We're going to start to hit the decline here soon, too, to where, they got to be careful with the contract, in my opinion.
All right, so in honor of the Ertz contract talks and in recognition of the fact that Travis Kelce and George Kittle got theirs recently and exempting them from this exercise, this is the Travis Kelce, George Kittle Memorial Draft, the best tight ends in the NFL. Chris, you have a question for me.
Oh, I got the question? I was not ready for that. Oh.
No. Yes,
Didn't I ask the question yesterday?
Am I asking Chris? Let me ask Chris.
All right, here we go. Only one tight end in NFL history has caught 1,000 receiving yards. Who is it?
One rookie tight end in NFL history has caught 1,000 receiving.
If you watch my podcast, you would know because we talked about it, but, you know.
I don't watch your podcast. I watch your afternoon podcast as much as you watch my afternoon podcast. I'm just going to throw a dart and say Kellen Winslow, the original Kellen Winslow.
Oh, sorry, Ghost Rider. No, it's
Mike Ditka?
It is, right? Isn't that amazing?
1,000 receiving yards for a tight end in 1961? That's amazing. I would have never guessed. You could have given me 10 guesses, and I wouldn't have come up with Mike Ditka. All right, you get the first pick.
Okay, first pick. It's actually not the easiest first pick in the world here. I think, though, honestly, I'm going to go with Austin Hooper as my first pick, okay? I'm going to go there. Yeah, I like well-rounded tight ends. And Austin Hooper, you know, of course, really good in the pass game, but an awesome run blocker, too. You know, to where you can't just peg him to one thing. So we saw Cleveland paid, you know, pretty good money for him. I don't think Atlanta wanted to lose him because Atlanta made a trade to get another good tight end and Hayden Hurst after that. But I think Austin Hooper is the guy that I'm going to go with here. This is a tough one because it's a very close group here, but well-rounded tight end and really has no weakness to his game.
It's going to be tough, though, to get the production out of Hooper with Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
But, you know, so he may not show it this year. And I don't know how much my pick is going to show it during the regular season. But he's going to show it in the postseason if they keep him healthy. And until he is dethroned, the king of all tight ends continues to be Rob Gronkowski. Gone for a year, not forgotten. I'm astounded you didn't take him.
Nah.
He's the best tight end. He'd have possibly been my first pick even if Kittle and Kelce were still in play.
Yeah,
because
but you're crazy
I know what
then.
Gronk – it's fine. I don't care. I know what Gronk's going to do with the season on the line. And we've got other guys that we know they can perform. We know Kelce and Kittle can perform at a high level. And long-term, I'd want both of them on my team over Gronk. But for this year, give me Gronk because I know – when it's time to make the big catch from Tom Brady with the season riding on it, he's going to do it.
Well, all right. I mean, that's iffy. I mean, hasn't played football in a year. You know, we'll see about his production, too, as we've heard. I mean, you know, they got other tight ends down there, too. So I'm with you. He's going to have definitely a niche in the red zone, and I'm sure he's going to be in there in a lot of big moments. There's no doubt about that. All right, next guy, man. You left Zach Ertz on the board here, so I got to go with Zach Ertz. I'm going to go with him. I mean, again, it's a passing league. The guy has a niche in the passing game. Do I wish he was a better run blocker? Certainly. You know, he's not a very effective that way. But in the pass game, similar to a Travis Kelce where he's very slick. He's a really good route runner. Is he going to break like big plays after the catch and break tackles? No, not necessarily. But he's going to break through some arm tackles and make a guy miss to get an extra 4 or 5 yards and do all that too, let alone he has phenomenal hands. So you're going to leave Zach Ertz out there. I'm going to take it.
Yeah, look, I did leave him out there because, again, I'd still rather have Gronk when the season is on the line and he's still regarded
Hope they make
as,
the playoffs, Tampa, because if they don't, that would be a wasted pick.
With 7 spots in the NFC, they'll make the playoffs. All right, I'm going to go Hunter Henry, franchise tagged by the Chargers, especially with the Mike Williams news we discussed earlier. He's got a shoulder injury that's keeping him out for a while. If he's not out there, it's more opportunities for Henry. And, Henry's had that career that's a little bit of a mixed bag. He had 652 receiving yards last year and 5 touchdowns. But, this is a guy who I think could have a very productive season, especially if they get Justin Herbert out there on the field. But even with Tyrod Taylor, we've said this about Taylor over and over again. He's been pretty good in his career, and he's never had the weapons like the ones he's going to have this year.
Right.
And Henry a big part of that. All right, you're up next.
Yeah, he's super talented, Henry, definitely. I mean, just stay healthy. I mean, he could become a big-time target. I can't believe that, this guy's going to be here for this 3rd pick. This really might be the guy who this was really my first pick. I just didn't think you'd take him. Darren Waller, the Oakland Raiders. I'm not going to lie. I think right now, and I've said this on my podcast, it would go Kittle 1, Kelce 2, Darren Waller 3 in tight ends in football right now. Hey, he had 90 receptions, had 1,100 yards receiving, and he's an awesome blocker too. I know you and I have discussed on the show too, like the Raiders were really smart in getting out in front of, his contract. They did something we talk about all the time. Let's not wait for the guy to explode and then try to sign him. Let's have a little vision to go, wait, this guy's really damn good. He's going to explode. Let's sign him up now for $9 million a year. I mean, they got a steal with that. Darren Waller is awesome. He is the type of tight end that you can formulate a game plan around, and I can't believe there's more good tight ends in football than you realize once you start to go down this draft. Yeah.
And this last one for me is going to be very difficult. Kyle Rudolph is a guy that I considered. He doesn't have the production that he used to. He had the big catch, though, in the playoff game to extend the season. I'm going to go Jared Cook of the Saints.
Good for you.
Jared Cook, especially now with Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, he may find more opportunities this year than he's had. He still had 705 receiving yards last year for the Saints in 14 games, and we've seen him deliver some big catches in big moments. And I think he's a guy who could have a big impact on New Orleans offense this year, Chris.
Yeah, no, he's an awesome football player. I was a teammate of his with the Tennessee Titans. He's a huge man. He's got great body control. And as we've seen, he's kind of special where he can catch a ball 10 yards over the middle and split a defense and run for a 70-yard touchdown. I mean, he really can. So that's a special skill set. And I think year 2 in that Sean Payton offense, you're going to see that kind of take off too. Man, I mean, we didn't even.
He's made big catches. He had that catch from Aaron Rodgers in the playoff game a couple years ago.
Right.
But he's always seemed to overplay his hand when it's time to negotiate a new contract, and he never really stays in one place.
No, you're right. It seems very fair to say that. I mean, but man, we didn't Noah Fant, T.J. Hawkinson, who I expect to be in the convo for best tight ends in football. How about our guy in Baltimore? We didn't get to Mark Andrews. I didn't know if you were going to take Gronk, and I think that's the guy who got left off the list because you took Gronk. But I won the draft today. Good try, though. Good work, Mike.
Okay, we'll see when Gronk has his hands on the Super Bowl trophy. We'll bring this tape back if either of us remember it, which probably will not happen.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.